Oh, hello. You know what time it is? It's time to get all my... Hold on. I had this all planned out. I have all my mail. It's been piling up. And the thing is I have more mail coming because of Final Fantasy. There's some secret Final Fantasy cards that are actually more rare than the actual stuff that comes out of collector boosters. So there's that. But in this video, we got a what I'm buying. These are a crowd favorite. We've got all my mail that's been piling up. I'm going to talk about what I bought. I'm going to talk about why I bought it, what the point of it is. And that's how this video goes. I open my mail. We'll get one person in the comments that's like, you already opened it. Yes, I did already open it. It's not a surprise. I open it, and then what ends up happening is I look through it in the video, which is how this video works. Let's just talk about it. Thank you to all of our channel patrons that continue to support the channel via Patreon. We appreciate you all so much. Thanks for the continued support. So we got the what I'm buying video for June 2025. Before we talk about it, big thank you to our channel sponsors. Card Conduit. That's a great spot that you can go to sell your Magic the Gathering cards quickly and easily on the internet. Use their buy list to get the most out of your collection. You send them cards, and depending on one of 3 different services that you decide to use, which essentially simplifies down to the amount of pre-work that you want to do, you can use our code MartyMagic to save 10% on your fees. Yes! We like saving money, and it also helps out the channel a great deal. Also, big thank you to Dragon Shield. Those are the best sleeves in the multiverse. Use our code MM5. Oh, God. Use our code MM5 at checkout. I'm going to pick up my mail. And yeah, you're going to save 5% on your order at Dragon Shield. Let's go ahead and talk about the cards. I have everything here. I have the prices that I paid for stuff, and I'm going to talk about what I bought and why I bought it. Some of this stuff in here is actually Paige's as well, so I'm going to be talking through that stuff. She is not here in this video, but I am going to talk about the stuff that she sent to me. First thing we're starting with here, Island. These are from the SpongeBob Secret Lair, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this. There are going to be multiples of these in this video. These are all the foil ones. I don't know exactly how many I bought of them, but we'll set them to the side. The idea around this card and the reason that I picked this up is because, and let's get the price. These were all purchased between $4.97, and then the highest price I paid for any one individual island was $5.75. No, I do see here 2 of them were purchased for $5.99. My thought about this, some of the Secret Lair lands that are basic lands have done very well, especially stuff like the Vagiland, for example, the Strange Sands Island. These are the lands under the sea that came out in the SpongeBob bundle. Now, the SpongeBob Secret Lair, or not bundle, but the SpongeBob Secret Lair was all sorts of different stuff. You had meme cards, you had all of the characters from SpongeBob, reskins of popular commander cards. I'm going to turn my camera a little bit. That makes more sense rather than me be at the edge of the frame. My thought with these is you give this some time. SpongeBob came out recently. These have a very unique aesthetic. As we get more and more Universes Beyond decks that come out, more and more of these decks that are like, oh, I have, this crazy card from Lord of the Rings, and I have this crazy card from Evil Dead, and I have this card in here from, Final Fantasy. You're going to have people that want just random SpongeBob type stuff. So I feel like these right now are kind of out of sight, out of mind, which is why they're on my radar. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to target some of those islands. I think that island has a really unique style to it. And I think for anybody who's just like a big SpongeBob fan, these are going to be very popular in the future. I know that right now there's some of you that are hearing this going, I can't believe he's buying these islands. What an absolute jerk, a degenerate. What a terrible, terrible man. I have news for you. I bought even more than that. Let's see how many are actually in here. See how many are in these top loaders. You know what I love is when people don't put tape over the top loaders. And it sounds like I'm saying that sarcastically, but I actually do love that because oftentimes what you'll end up doing is ruining the top loader, especially if you don't use packing tape. And so for me, I'm like, please just like, I want to be able to recycle these top loaders. I don't want these to be something that get destroyed, and it helps save. I can just recycle these, use them again, send them on over to somebody else in the future. Well, we have 2 more there. I can't rescue the sleeve. I can't rescue the sleeve, everybody. There we go. We got 2 more there. Just going to set them all over here. You're like, oh god, is this really a video where Jake just shows off a bunch of islands that he bought? No, it's not the only thing I bought in here, I promise you. But I did say there would be a lot of islands. Alright, let's see what we got in this guy here. Oh, that's kind of sticky. Oh, alright, Demonic Pact. So a very fun Final Fantasy card came out. Oh yeah, there was a lot of alliteration in that. A very fun and fabulous Final Fantasy card recently became one of my favorite cards, and that is Shadow Mysterious Assassin. So Shadow has this unique ability where you can sacrifice a non-land permanent you control. I believe it's non-land. Yeah, I think it's non-land. And each opponent is going to lose life equal to that. You know what? Let me look up the card really quick. I read the card. Now here I am talking out my butt. 2 and a black. Death Touch. 3/3. Whenever Shadow deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice another non-land permanent. If you do, draw 2 cards, and each opponent loses life equal to the mana value of the sacrificed permanent. So, for example, this in a Shadow EDH deck, right? We're going to use these other modes other than this one. You lose the game. And we're going to make sure to sacrifice this before you lose the game goes off. So we're going to draw 2 cards. We're going to deal 4 damage to target creature or player in game for life. Target opponent discards 2 cards. We're going to do all these fun modes. And then we're going to make sure to sacrifice this to Shadow. And I just saw this card and I was like, you know what? Demonic Pact is one of these cards that I feel like is like a booty card, but it's super cheap. And I was like, I'm just going to buy a bunch of copies of Demonic Pact. I don't know what I'm doing with my money over here. Nothing is financial advice. I paid between $1.68. I paid as low as 69 cents for some of these. And the highest I paid was $2 for any one copy of Demonic Pact. All right, let's see what we got in here. Oh, well, there's more Demonic Pacts. I know everybody watching this right now is going, I swear, if there are just islands and Demonic Pacts on this playmat at the end of this video, I'm going to be so mad. Don't worry. There's other stuff in here, I promise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so these would have been the ones that I think were like 69 cents or something like that. I'm just going to assume that this is also 8 Demonic Pacts. We're just going to set that there. And we're going to keep the train moving. The thing is when... Oh, there we go. And I did buy 1 foil. I paid... Because this is the Origins version and this is the original version... I paid $17.96 for this one, the nice foily one. I think that's the only foil Demonic Pact that's going to be in here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Here's some fun stuff. Let's talk about these, and these are some of Paige's cards. Recently, the Everyone's Invited Commander deck came out, and with that, a hefty price tag. So if you were on the Secret Lair site, you could probably see, I believe that this deck is still available now, what feels like a month later, or at least like 2 or 3 weeks later, maybe longer. What Paige decided to do was she bought all of these cards individually. We have Maskwood Nexus, which was purchased at $27.99. Now keep in mind that deck is a $200 deck. You have Morophon, which is in here with one of these, I believe. I think it might be this one. Yeah, so you have Morophon as well. So Morophon and Maskwood Nexus in here. Morophon was purchased at $27.99 as well. So let's set these to the side. You have Morophon and Maskwood there. You also have Sol Ring. Now, Sol Ring, does anybody want to take a guess on if this was the most expensive one out of all of them? It was $42.99 for this Sol Ring here. Really nice card. Very beautiful card. Let's actually take it out of there for a second. I just want to look at it. Nice card, right? I like that Sol Ring. That Sol Ring, $42.99 for that one. We'll set that over here. Also, Raise the Palisade came out of this. $11.99 and $12.49. 2 of these were purchased because one of them is for Paige and one of them is for me. Tauren Mauler, I think, was around $12 as well. Really nice price on a lot of these. And these are the chase cards. So there were cards in that deck that were given a new art treatment. And these are them. Paige has this affinity. She really, really loves like extended art cards, or not extended art, but full art. Extended art is where the art just goes across essentially the art box here. Full art is where the art is actually extended, and you can see it faintly behind the text box there. So that's the difference between that. And then there was also a Bitter Blossom. Bitter Blossom was $22.99. Oh, and an Avenger of Zendikar. So these all came together. Avenger of Zendikar, I believe, $22 as well. Really nice cards. They look very beautiful. And these are all from the Everyone's Invited deck that came out. So just something to keep in mind. If that product doesn't work for you, if you're like, man, I really am not going to play that deck, but I like the variants. She ended up spending less than 200 for the cards that she wanted that were from that, but I do believe it wasn't much less than 200. So for you, it might work to just buy the deck if you want these specific variants. I know that she was putting together kind of like a fun Changelings deck, and so she wanted a lot of these cards specifically from that deck that came out. And I mean, as more and more time goes by, you're going to see cards like this get soaked up. If the only spot you can get these is in that deck, if you want any of these specific variants like this Soul Ring, for example, you're only going to be able to find those there. And there's Coat of Arms. Coat of Arms purchased at $8.94. That to me is a very good price for a card that is like very much a Kindred staple. Also from that same deck there. There we go. There's the other Raise the Palisade. Let's go ahead and open this. Sometimes you will get sellers that just throw in an extra card. Like this island was not part of the experience, but sometimes people will just like to throw something in. That way it just kind of sweetens the deal. Nothing wrong with getting a little foil island that you didn't expect to get. It's kind of fun. So one of those Raise the Palisades is actually mine because I do not have a copy of that card. Oh, but these are definitely mine. There we go, baby. More islands from SpongeBob. SpongeBob. That's how I like to pronounce it. There we go. Island. So I run SpongeBob, and SpongeBob is Joda deck. And so it's just my Universes Beyond deck. I know I'm the first person ever to have a SpongeBob Universes Beyond deck. No one else has done it. There we go. 4 more islands. Islands. This... I should have like a Corona. Actually, I do have a Pacifico here. And it's kind of like a Corona. All these islands make me wish I was on the beach. See what else we got. Agent of Treachery. Now, this was based on Y'shtola Rule, which came out, which is a new Final Fantasy commander. When I saw that card was spoiled, I was like, oh god, you know what card goes absolutely hard in there? Agent of Treachery. So I picked this up. This foil was purchased at $8.70. You can see the promo stamp there. And so that was my thought, picking this one up. I don't have a copy of Agent, and so this one for me was more of like a commander pickup, a commander staple that I didn't have. Ah, more foil islands. Yes, this is what we needed. Good. All of the islands in foil. Precisely what we wanted to see. Let me know, chat. How do you feel about these islands? You feel like I'm just going to get hosed on picking these up? Worst case scenario, I'm just going to build like a mono blue deck. All right, now we have all the tokens that came out of the Everyone's Invited Commander deck. I'll share these with folks so that they can see them. Wow, every side is that. Oh no, you do have some that are different there. Oh wait, no, they are different. And what I like about the tokens that come out of the Secret Lair products is they are all magic cards on the back, which is really neat. So you have all of these different shapeshifters here. Slight differences. These were all purchased at $2 a piece. So if you wanted those specific tokens, those also come out of that same commander deck. Tendershoot Dryad, we haven't talked about this one yet. $4 here on Tendershoot. So this is the cheapest price of any of these that came out. Cheapest price of any of these. And then Changeling Outcast, which was purchased at $7.25. So Tendershoot, after getting that reprint, you could see kind of like a scarcity reprint on this. Once they reprinted this, price on it dropped drastically. Everybody remembers that old Ixalan one. Oh, look, they put a little shapeshifter in with it. Look at them go there. And then you do have the Changeling Outcast. I really like the art on this with the oranges and the pinks. Looks really nice. We have Quicksilver Elemental. Does anybody want to take a guess before I say what this deck is for? Or what this card is for? What deck is this going into that just recently came out of Final Fantasy? I will give you a clue. It is a little wizard. A little... Is it? Wizard. I don't know. Is it? It's VV. This card goes infinite with VV very easily. So Quicksilver Elemental had a big price jump. Paige picked this up for her deck I do not have it in the VV deck that I have built, though it probably should be in there, especially if you're trying to run like a sweaty kind of like CEDH kind of build for VV. I've seen a lot of really fun decks for VV that have been built. Like I've seen Dragon's Approach, that version. We built a really fun version that's just like pump VV up using spells like Titan Strength, and then they end up being like rituals for him, so you could crap out big enchantments like City on Fire and that kind of stuff. But I've also seen very sweaty CEDH builds that run cards like this and have like breach lines that can just go infinite as well. So this is a really fun one, and yeah, Quicksilver Elemental. Shot up because of Final Fantasy. And another coat of arms because I picked one of these up as well. Again, this was purchased at around $8 or $9, I believe. Yeah, I have one at $10.25 and I have one at $8.94. So really good time to get these. Put that with the other one. All right, a little bit more mail here. What else we got? What else we got here? Get out of there. Oh, it's an island. Very nice. Got some more islands here. Finally, I could get all of the islands out of top loaders and put them into a binder. Oh, Twist Reality. See, here we go. We have another random card that gets included. I don't know why it was, but counter target spell or manifest dread. I can't read all of that stuff. So that card is just going to go into the bulk. And we have more islands. It looks like 2 of them, possibly. We'll just set them in the island pile. What else we got? Oh, here we go. Here's some fun stuff. So I was talking earlier about my Universes Beyond deck. And we have Path to Exile here. You will notice it is from Fallout. That's because I have tons of Path to Exiles, but my friends were actually complaining. They were like, dude, you're running a Universes Beyond deck and your Path to Exile is like a promo. You should have a path that's from a Universes Beyond. Well, here we go. I have one from Fallout. So there's my Path to Exile from Fallout. There's more islands, because islands. And there's a Shrinking Storm, because I run a Wrath of God in that deck. But now I have the Fortnite one, so get off me. Got the Shrinking Storm here. You could see in small text up there, Wrath of God. It's just a reskinned Wrath of God. This is kind of how they did the SpongeBob cards. Instead of making SpongeBob mechanically unique like Deadpool or the Walking Dead cards, for example, what they did was they just reskinned Joda. So we do have a couple pickups that are just specifically for the collection. I like that this path is kind of like a little bit of a Pringle here. But I play casually, so I'm not really worried about that slight bend. Yeah, let's move our mail to the side. We need more room. We need more room. Pickups for decks over here. All right, what do we got in here? Oh, that's nothing. More islands. Get out of there. How many in there? Just one? Nope, 2. 2 islands. This video is brought to you by the color blue. Anybody who knows me as a Magic player knows that blue is not my color, but today it is. All right, we got a interesting way of sealing this here. Why can't I figure this out? There we go. Here we have a Swiftfoot Boots. So that's a nice little sticker there. Swiftfoot Boots, but it is the one from Fallout as well. So now I can run Swiftfoot Boots and people don't complain because they're from the Universes Beyond version. So Swiftfoot Boots. There we go. Hold on. We need some prices. Path to Exile, $11.68. We had Shrinking Storm, which is the Wrath of God, $8.07 for the foil, which I was actually kind of surprised of. That one has been out for a while, but Wrath of God isn't, like, as far as board wipes go, it's clean, it's to the point, but I do kind of feel like that card is kind of like faded away from being like a mainstream card. Swiftfoot Boots, $5.15 for that foil. I really like that. Now, if you're getting Surge foils from this set, forget about it. Forget about it. They're all very expensive. Quicksilver Elemental. What was the price on that? I didn't even talk about that. Gosh, Jake, come on. You're failing here. You got too much island on the mind. Quicksilver, I think it was like $22, I believe, but that was for her deck. I don't have that one because I think she actually ordered that one, so I don't have that price. Lightning Greaves. Now, here we go. Now, the Greaves I did get for my deck, and the Greaves were purchased at $7.13. Why did I get these? Well, they're from Doctor Who. I had to have one Doctor Who card, and so I figured I was going to make it one that is definitely good. So I got a foil set of Lightning Greaves. So now my one Doctor Who card in the deck is actually a card that is a house, and that's very good. In here, we have... I don't even know what these are. I haven't dug into these ones yet. Let's see what we got. Ah! Well, if I was a betting man, I would say they would probably foil islands from the SpongeBob secret lair, lands under the sea. Speaking of being a betting man, anybody going to go to Vegas? Anybody excited to be in Vegas? Oh, there we go. We got more islands. I'm going to do an island count at the end of this, and we're going to see just how many we got. This is a really fun what I'm buying. When we get to the Final Fantasy one, you're going to be more impressed because there's going to be more variants. We also have Asika's Chariot here, and this Asika's Chariot was purchased at $17.75. First of all, these are my cats. That's Ripley, and that's Bill. Ripley's named after Ripley from Alien. Bill is named after Uncle Baby Billy from Righteous Gemstones. He also does have a very poofy squirrel-like tail, so that works as well. Also, fun fact, this is not mine either. This was also purchased by Paige. This was a secret layer that came out that was like an experimental kind of thing that they did, where they were like, okay, we're going to send out a $30 secret layer, and then we're going to upcharge the foil version and make it a $60 secret layer. People kind of spoke with their wallet. I know some of these were purchased, but a lot of people did not bite on the huge price increase, even though cats. I know I didn't, but Paige did want this specific card because it's got kitties on it. And then also, you know, buying the one card for 16 bucks isn't the same as buying the whole layer for 60. Let's go ahead and count our islands because I am interested in that now, just because there are so many of them. Let's get an island count. This might just be the thumbnail. What I'm buying. Island edition. Jeez. Okay. Everyone's going to be like, Jesus, what is this thumbnail? 35 foil islands. What is the prize that I win? Let me know in the comments. If you found this video fun, if you enjoyed it, definitely click like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a great deal. Most of you who watch our channel are not subscribed. So if you're here for the second or third video, if you find yourself watching more and more Martishius Magic videos, then I do really appreciate it if you would just go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate all of you so much. What you see right now are the names of our $10 patrons that are scrolling by. These are folks that go the extra mile and support the channel over on Patreon. There are exclusive videos over there if you want to go watch other stuff. I share collection tips. I also will post just like if I do a draft or something like that. Anything that doesn't make it to YouTube, I post over there a minimum of like once a week. So if you want to support the channel over on Patreon, get a little bit more content going, then that's a great way to do it. But big thank you to all these folks, and thank you so much for watching this episode of What I'm Buying, June 2025. See you in the future. Goodbye. Hello, 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 hello.